girlfriend this weekend. It's going to be awesome. So don't worry, it's not going to cost you anything. And then I do risk reversal. So this is how it's going to work. You come on, you go to the webinar, go home this weekend afterwards, spend a whole bunch of time trying to pick up a chick. And if you don't pick up a girl, email me on Monday and I won't bill your credit card. But if you do pick up a girl, don't do anything and I won't charge you anything. Okay, that's how we did it in the dating market. We did this in the speed reading market. We had a partner named Howard Berg. He's the world's fastest reader. So for his, it was the same kind of process. Like if you ever tried to, or if you ever struggle reading books or trying to learn the information you need to, how would you like to be able to read a book a book in an hour? I'm going to prove it to you. My name is Howard Berg. I'm the world's fastest reader. And just like you, I was frustrated. I wanted to learn more. I couldn't do it. And that's when I became the world's fastest reader. And I can literally take anyone in 4 hours, double their reading. And don't worry, I'm not going to charge you for this. I'm going to prove it to you up front. Show up on this webinar. It's going to be 4 hours. We're going to test you at the very beginning of the webinar. We'll test you at the end. And if you've doubled your reading by the end, then you pay me. If not, let me know and I won't bill you a penny. Okay, so that's kind of how we do our magic bullet script. Like you got to figure out what's the big promise you can offer somebody. If you can do that, the invisible funnel works really, really good. Okay, that's why getting a girlfriend that weekend worked really good. Double your reading works really, really good. Okay, if you can give some kind of big promise, then the magic bullet script works awesome. Okay, now here's what the script we kind of do when we're on the actual webinar. Okay, so somebody comes on the webinar, and again, typically these webinars are 2 or 3 or 4 hours. Those of you guys who are on this webinar right now, you're actually in the middle of an invisible funnel training right now. We are like over 3 hours into this thing, so you can kind of see how it works. Initially, when someone gets on, you retell the hook, and you tell them what they're going to learn, and then you just start teaching. Okay, the best thing about invisible funnel is you're teaching as much stuff as you can. Okay, you're just trying to give as much value as possible. You're not going to sell you're not selling anything right now. So I give as much content as I can. I usually tell them what it is, like what's the first piece of content. I try to share some kind of parable or story that illustrates how it works, or how it worked in the real world. Then I teach a concept behind it, and then I show an example. And then I pick my second piece of content, or my second tip or whatever, and I go through that again and again and again. And I just keep doing that till all my content's been taught. Okay, that's kind of my script for teaching content. At the end of the invisible funnel, you recap. Here's everything you just learned. Then I'm going to tie it to value. So can you see how this worked? Okay. How much would it be worth for you to be able to get a girlfriend? How much is doubling your reading worth to you? If I just doubled your reading, you read twice as many books, this is how much it's actually worth to you. So you're tying what you just taught them to some kind of value so they can see that it was worth a lot. And then you can basically come back and say, look, the webinar is now done, and I just need to ask you if it was worth it. Okay, if this was worth the $97 that I'm charging for the webinar, don't do anything and I'll bill you tomorrow. If it wasn't worth it, then just email me and I won't bill you. Okay, so recap what they just learned, tie it to some real tangible value, then ask them if it was worth it. If so, do this. If not, do this. Okay, and that's how the webinar, the training webinar ends. Then I soft close the webinar. I say, look, so thank you guys for being on the webinar. Now, before we go, a lot of people are asking, all the stuff I talked about, if I can help them with it. And I just want to ask you really quick for your permission to kind of tell you about a special offer I have for you. You don't have to be on it. If you want to hang up now, you can. But I want to make you that offer. And most people are like, yeah, sure. And then they come back and say, okay, so, and then you got a couple different offers. Like, do you want to drive them to a website, to an application, to paid application? This kind of depends on how you want to transition your offer. Okay, sometimes we send them to a website for them to go order. Sometimes we have them apply. Sometimes make them pay to apply. And then basically my 3-step close for this is simple. What, why, how. Okay, they already know who you are, but it's the rest of the who, what, why, how script. So what do I have? I've got a really cool coaching program. If you want to go apply for it, fill out this application. It's free. Why do you need it? Because if you want to get to the next level fast, I'm going to show you how to do it. How to click on this link and go and fill out the application. Okay, so it's pretty simple and pretty easy. All right, so that's the invisible funnel. And then the product launch funnel. Whew, these are a lot of funnels, you guys. I'm glad you have a chance to go through these over and over again because I know we're covering so much. All right, so the product launch funnel. This is what the product launch funnel looks like. This was made famous by Frank Kern and Andy Jenkins and Jeff Walker and all these guys who do tons of product launches. So usually there's a 4-video series where you're trying to provide as much value as possible for somebody. Video number 1 is called the Wow and How. Video number 2 is the transformational education. Video number 3 is the ownership experience. And video number 4 is the offer. Okay, so that's what the product launch funnel looks like. Now this is what the scripts look like inside of it. Okay, again, this picture gets kind of intense. So the Wow and How, basically this is the core script of that video. Big promise, kill common myths. Big promise, content piece number 1, kill the myths, and then hook to video number 2. Video number 2 now is transformational education. Let's do it together. Proof it's working. How I can do it, which is the content for number 2. And then number 4 is hooking to video number 3. Here's video number 3, the ownership experience. Boom. Step 1, you future pace them on what's going to happen to them for having this. Number 2, you're going to hint them to the offer that's going to be coming up on video number 4. Number 3, you show how you do it. Number 4, you hook to the offer video. And here's the offer video. Boom. Step 1, here's what I've got. Here's what you'll do with it. Here's what I'll do for you. And here's what you need to do right now. Okay. I know, guys, this is a lot. This is like so much stuff. I feel bad that we're jamming it all in your mind, but I want you guys to have this so that you can understand that I want to do a product launch. Let me come back to this and I can dig deeper and figure out, okay, what's my big promise? What are the common myths I need to kill? And you can use this as a template if you decide that you're going to create a product launch funnel. Okay. All right. So we covered here's the middle of the value ladder funnels. Now we're going to go to the top and the continuity, and then we'll be close to done, you guys. So the top, now it's where we sell our really, really expensive stuff. So the first is our high ticket funnel and script. This is the back of the value ladder. So for us, at the end of every sales funnel, we put in this coaching application form. You guys have probably seen it. Some of you guys are probably here because of it. Usually we have some kind of case study. Like, hey, I'm going to show you a case study about how we helped one of our students do X, Y, Z. They watch the video, they apply, fill out an application form. They apply there. It takes them to a page as homework where we pre-frame them on what's going to happen when the phone call happens. Okay, again, it's a very simple funnel that you can attach to the back of any funnel to sell your super high ticket things. Now, after they've applied, typically you're going to call them on the phone now and sell them something. Okay, so this is the high ticket script. It looks like this. Now, there's a lot of steps here. I'm not our salesperson. We did probably 20 hours of training in our high ticket secrets course that goes through this, but this is kind of it. It's a 2-set script. First is the first person that calls is what we call our setter, and their job is to find out if the person is going to be a good fit for our coaching program. So they basically call the person up, they introduce themselves, they ask them a bunch of questions about them, about their business. They go through the blast, which is kind of this process, kind of show a bunch of stuff, what's happening, we're blasting through a bunch of I can't think of the right word on top of my head. What's happening and why this is exciting and kind of answering. You've asked a bunch of questions. You're kind of sharing like why what you have to share and what your coaching program has is going to be awesome. Then you got to posture it why yours is better or different or whatever. Then you probe to find out more about their pain, what they're struggling with, the good things, the bad things. You got to find out if they've got credit, if they can pay for it. You find out what their goals are, and then you share with them the commitments. Okay, so that's the first person's job, the setter, is to go through that process with them and find out if they're qualified. If they are qualified, at the end of that, then they pass them to the closer. The closer is going to go through the 4 commitments here. So the first one is time. Do you have the time to do it? Number 2, are you the decision maker? Can you make decisions? Are you going to be successful with the thing? Number 3, do you have the resources you need? Number 4 is the knowledge. That's kind of what we're going to be doing in the coaching program. Here's what's included, and then you sign them up and you close them. So again, there's a lot of psychology behind this and a lot more to do. But if you want more information on how to do the 2-step, that's what our high ticket secrets product is. But that's how we sell our 8, our 15, our 25, and our $1 million packages, is through that exact process. And it works amazingly well. All right, you guys, we've covered a lot. Here's our free plus shipping front ends, or our front end funnels, our middle of value ladder funnels, and our high ticket back ends. The last ones we have right now are our continuity funnels. And continuity funnel is pretty simple. Typically, for most continuity we have, there's a trial. I like doing dollar trials or free trials or something to get somebody into continuity. Continuity is a hard sell by itself because you're having somebody sign up for $40 or $50 or $100 a month. And it's kind of there's a big barrier. So I like having a trial to get somebody in. And then immediately I'm going to have an upsell for either you can buy a yearly account, or I'm going to upsell training that complements whatever the thing they're buying is. And from there they go to the members area. And then here they're getting billed each week, each month, so on and so forth, forever and ever. That's the continuity funnel. Now, how do you sell people on these things? You guys, it just depends. The who, what, why, how script works really good here. The Star Story Solutions script works really good here. The OTO bump scripts work good in both of these. So all the scripts we kind of showed you now, you can use here in the continuity funnel as well. Okay. Now, the last thing I want you guys to understand is I shared with you guys, how many did we do? We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've done 8 different funnels with you right now. the cool thing about these funnels is that they're not the only funnels, okay? Every day we're learning and we're discovering new ways to sell stuff and new ways to do funnels. And I look at funnels kind of like I look at the building blocks of a funnel, like they're Legos. Recently we were just playing around with different ideas, and we took 2 or 3 funnels, we hooked them together like Legos, and we created this new funnel called the black box funnel. And it's really cool, and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? It starts right here with the free plus shipping product, okay? And so, I mean, you guys have seen this. This is one funnel, a free plus shipping funnel. And then our upsell became an invisible funnel. So there's the invisible funnel parts. We Legoed the invisible funnel as the one-time offer. And at the end of the invisible funnel, then we Legoed on the coaching application form. And boom, we created a brand new funnel that we call the black box funnel. But all the black box funnel is 3 funnels Legoed, kind of connected together, and it created the black box funnel. Okay? So I don't want you guys thinking that what I've shared with you is conclusive of every type of funnel in the world. I'm showing you guys the core building blocks you need to really start getting creative and figure out new ways to do things. Okay? And the cool thing about the internet is it keeps evolving and changing, and there's so much cool stuff. But literally this can and should become like a lifetime journey of learning and excitement and all this kind of thing, you guys. And for me, it really is that way. I love this stuff. It gets me so excited. Every time I come in, we're mapping out new funnels, new ways to do it. And here's the funnel, but maybe we'll add a quiz on the front of it now, or maybe we'll add a pre-frame thing, or maybe we'll add a one-time offer before the invisible funnel, then we'll add the invisible funnel, and then maybe we'll add a pre-frame between here and here. And it's just like, it's like Legos, you guys. You're just building out these little funnels. And I hope from today's webinar, you guys have gotten more than enough information to understand the funnel psychology, how it works, the core funnels we use, how to build your own funnels, how to know what types of pages and how to do, and how you're using these funnels to ascend somebody up a value ladder. Because when you understand that, you really have a good understanding of how to make money in this business. This is all I do all day long in every one of our businesses. And this is the fun stuff I never have a chance to share. So I'm grateful for you guys for allowing me to share with you, and I hope that you've learned a ton from it. All right, so let me ask you guys a question. Who here, after the last almost 4 hours, feels a little bit like this? Okay, it looks like most of you guys. So I did what I promised you at the beginning, right? That was my goal, is to make you guys feel like this. And again, I literally dumped 10 years of stuff on you, but I also want to know, I'm sure you feel overwhelmed, but do you feel a little bit more security, just understanding that this is the picture. I see where I'm going now. I understand I need a value ladder. I understand I need to be able to sell people along this value ladder. I gotta have this attractive character that's selling people. I need funnels. And here's the building blocks of a funnel. Here's the steps, the phases of a funnel. Here's the type of funnels that I need to have. But now I have a clear picture of the pieces I need to build a successful business, right? Or to take my successful business and take it to the next level. I need to have a new product. I need to have more back-end things. I need more front-end things. I need, whatever those pieces are. Because literally, you guys, that's the key to how this whole thing works. If you look at my business, if you look when people pay us a lot of money for consulting and I fly to their office, they fly here, this is what we do. I get out the whiteboard, we map out what they have right now, and I start looking. What are you missing? Okay, you need another front end, you need a back end, you need a new offer, you need more products, you need this, you need that, and we start just figuring out what it is, where the holes are, where the gaps are. So this webinar, the goal was to show you everything. Like, here's the entire business model, here's all the pieces, here's a ton of stuff. Let me overwhelm you. And now you can like set next day, 2 days, 3 days, kind of start thinking about this. Now, like the next step, you guys, is to come back and start actually building this out and start taking it piece at a time, one piece at a time. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me at all? I know I just brain dumped on a ton of stuff for you, but for you guys who are live, who are active in our coach right now, I'd love for you guys to ask me any questions if you want right now. All right, someone said, where do I start with all this stuff? That is good. This is where you start, you guys. Who do you want to attract? So figure that out first. Like really, like who do you want to be selling to? Who's that person? Like what's the biggest key? That'd be the first thing. And the second thing I would think out is kind of, conceptually like where we'll get to, where's a little further down. So we start driving traffic, but now you know who it is. Like, what's the bait you can create? Do you want to sell them through a webinar? Do you want to create a free plus shipping thing? Like, what's that tangible bait that you're going to create to get that person? And what's the goal with it? Like what do you want to sell? What's going to be your high ticket thing? What products do you want to create? Like, you got to kind of figure out where you want to take somebody to. And so it's an important key to really understand that. Like, where do you guys want to take people? And after you have that, after you kind of identified, like from a conceptual level, right? Like your business plan, I'm not a big fan of like traditional business plans, but I am a plan of this kind of business plan, right? Who do I want to sell? What bait am I going to use to get them? You know, and my bait is the front of my value ladder. It's going to grab them. So what funnel am I going to use through that bait to grab them? And then I'm going to send them up to where I want them to go. And so that'd be my biggest thing. And as soon as you know that, go and create the bait. So go create the free CD or the free DVD or whatever that's going to be. Then go create your upsell. Then go and, you know, create the physical, tangible pieces of those things. Then you come back. Now I got the tangible pieces. Now let me build out the funnel. Let me log in ClickFunnels. I'll set up my squeeze page, my thank you page, my upsell page. Now you have all the structure behind it. Now I need the sales video for each piece of it. Does that make sense? So let me paintbrush this out. So first is like, what's my business plan? BP, right? So again, my business plan is just, for us, this is the only kind of business plan you guys need. All the crappy business plans they teach you in college don't work. This is what you need right here, right? Who's my business plan? Okay, now that I know that, like, what's going to be my bait? What's going to be my front end bait that's going to get somebody in initially, and then go and create that. Create it. Create that bait. Then number 3, like, what's going to be my upsells? So OTOs. And then go and create it. So you create the physical deliverables, right? So now people got the stuff. Then for me, number 4 I do is then let me go create the funnels. Let me log into ClickFunnels. I'm going to set up the pages. So here's my squeeze page. Here's going to be my upsell, my downsell, my thank you page. So here I have now the frame for all this stuff. Now the frame's built. Now I need to sell it. So I come back and I use the scripts to script out the video for this page and the video for this page, and then maybe it's my webinar, just all different pieces of it. Now you got that figured out. Now we come back here and where are these people at? Now we've got the mechanism we need to take somebody from bait to our high-end thing that we want to take them to. Now where are these people at? Now let's go find our traffic and start driving traffic to it. So that'd be the path that I would go through. And that's going to be the path, you guys, that we take you through back inside the coaching program as well. So I hope that helps. All right, let's see. Okay, so Liz asked a good question. Says, should I have something to offer before the perfect webinar, like a lower value? So Liz, the answer to that's a great question. It kind of comes back to, if I can find this thing. Okay, so we got cold, warm, and hot, right? So your webinar, I know you're working right now, is good for like warm traffic, right? So joint venture partners, people on Facebook who already know internet marketing, that want what you have, like, and so you've got a good offer right now that I think you can go directly to warm traffic right out of the gate and start going for. So like I would get that first, and then we can try to find some joint venture partners, try to drive traffic through Facebook initially. But yeah, there's going to be a point where you say, hey, let's step back now and now let's make something that's going to be better for cold traffic. Let's make it free plus shipping. Let's do something there as well. But a lot of businesses, you guys, like I started my whole business is creating a lot of times starting with like something here. Like you can do that. Because the perfect webinar is kind of interesting because someone comes in for free, they watch a free webinar, they receive value, so they're kind of bottom rung of the value ladder. Then you sell them something that upgrades them up. So while the perfect webinar is typically here in the middle of the value ladder, the process is it's free to come in and then you're selling them and you're upgrading them up. You know what I mean? So conceptually, it fits in this model. And I've made millions and millions of dollars starting with a perfect webinar to cold traffic. So you can do that as well. Okay, so Russell, is it okay if we use the who, what, why, and how script to make the necessary videos for the physical free CD, the buyer magnet squeeze page, the free case study? Yeah, definitely. These scripts, I created scripts for you guys to be able to use for all that. So yeah, definitely you use these scripts on every page. When you're building out your sales funnel, use these scripts in the ones that make the right sense for it. Awesome. Anyway, you guys, I appreciate you. Thanks. You guys are all insane, by the way, to spend 4 hours on a Thursday with me doing this stuff. So I appreciate it. Makes me feel good. And yeah, we will talk to you guys all again very, very soon. Get some sleep, and we'll talk to you guys in a couple days. Thanks, everyone.